Hello everyone, Scott here for this week's Lunch and Learn. It's been a very busy morning here at Pillow HQ, and I'm excited to bring you this week's workshop. And we are talking about Ikigai. Now, a few people have asked me, Scott, what is this? I couldn't pronounce it. It was a Japanese word. I'm sure I've seen it before, but tell me what it is. Ikigai, guys. I'm super excited about this one because something very close to my heart. Ikigai, as the thing says, it's a Japanese principle of finding your purpose. For anyone that wants to go on and do a little bit more research to this, that is the book. There are other books, but this is a beautiful, fantastic book. I love this one. The Japanese secret to a long and happy life. But Ikigai is all about finding your purpose in life. And guys, if you watch to the end, I have 5 copies of this book here for you to win. So we'll just share that at the end. I'm going to rattle through this because, guys, I don't want to take too long. This is not going to be a 45-minute-hour session. I want you to get some time back at the end of this one. I want to tell you all about Ikigai. Give the books away to those that win and make sure that you get some time back to go and reflect this lunchtime to see that you can find your Ikigai. So we're going to tell you the principles of Ikigai. Then I want you to go and not meditate, go for a walk, spend some time outside, spend some time in nature, lock yourself in a room and really think. Don't just go back to work and just ignore this. Think about it, what your Ikigai is. Let us crack on, guys. I'm excited about telling you this one. Finding your purpose in life, your reason for living, your reason for being. And guys, we are doing lunch and learns as always. So I stuffed my fantastic lunch in my face before coming in here, finish some leadership meetings, jumping in here. So I will eat my protein bar as we go through. Yeah, I assume you're doing the same. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat if you are watching live. We're all over different Facebook channels. We're on LinkedIn. We're on 2 different YouTube channels. And we may be going out on Instagram as well. So if you have any questions, please pop them into the chat. That will allow me to bring them up on screen. So I can just pop your questions up for everyone. There you go. Ask your questions live and I'll bring them up. Let's crack on. Ikigai. So what is it? Well, always do that. It's your reason for being, guys. This is your reason for living, getting up in the morning, taking away from, listen, the hardships of life, the hassle of commuting and going to work. One of the things that really noises me up is people say, oh, it's hump day, halfway, people living for, wishing their lives away, wishing for the weekend, sitting with their coats on, not here, but at work, ready to leave 5 minutes before because they hate their work, they're desperate to go. In our old office in Ayrshire, guys, there's Tony. Hi, Tony. If you have any questions about this, please let us know. I'll give you an example. What is an existence that it's just not worth living. In our old Ayrshire office, I used to always travel down from Glasgow and I'd get in at a certain time and I'd go in and I'd send a message or something in the car. But if I was a little bit later in, there would be the office block next door in Ayrshire. Not say who it is in case I get into trouble, but there was a business next door, shared the same communal car parking yard as us. And they would sit in their car till like 1 second to 8 and get out. They just sit there, arms folded, 1 second to 8, and they obviously started at 8 and they'd walk into the car. They weren't willing to give their employer 1 second more. They were not going in to get a cup of tea and relax, and they did not go into that office. And I sometimes sat there while on the phone so it didn't disconnect the speaker. And they, every single morning, for years, did they sit there and they never went in 1 minute before. That kind of existence where you're counting the seconds, you're playing by rule. That isn't a career. It isn't a life living by your true purpose. So that is an example I always say. I always used to sit and watch thinking, what's the point of going to work every day if you hate it so much? And I spoke to them as well, and I'm like, I hate it here. Hump day is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, it's hump day, it's halfway to the weekend. That isn't an existence, guys. So, who is this training for? Listen, Ikigai is for everybody. Ikigai is the Japanese principle, cover what they do with this, but it's for everyone in the West. It's for everyone all over the UK. Why do you need it? Well, are you fully satisfied with your life? Do you bounce out of bed in the morning? Do you love your work? Do you see it as work? Do you hate work? Do you count down the weekends? You got a little timer in your phone to count down to the next time you're going on a bender or a piss up to Tenerife? Are you fully satisfied with your life? Do you get up in the morning and think, I am leading the best existence I could possibly get? I'm going to equate this because it's lunch and learn. People out of business, a lot of our viewers will have service accommodation property businesses. Property is a fantastic way to help you achieve your Ikigai. Why? Oh, some of it can be hands-off residual. Some of it is quitting your employment and literally leaving that employer, sitting out in that car 1 second to 8, and I see them checking their watch. I'm not giving those fuckers 10 seconds. And then they count I saw them in their watch and then opened the door and walked in. You can swap that, and property allows you to do that, as does many other things that give you residual income or businesses, but it allows you to change your career or indeed change from self-employment, change from being an employee and have somebody like me telling you what to do to be the master of your own destiny. So, Ikigai, let's jump in. I'm going to put my face away. Now, do not worry about this slide, guys. It's very complicated. Everybody knows what a Venn diagram is. Well, Ikigai has 4 main principles here. 4 things that you should be achieving in life. And guys, don't worry about that diagram, because it's very complicated. But in reality, it's very, very simple. Ikigai has 4 main principles to it. Things that you should achieve or strive to achieve in your life. And if you look at the very center, Venn diagrams, who does not love a Venn diagram? If you can achieve everything in those 4 things, where it overlaps in the center is your purpose, your reason for being. You're living your maximum existence. You're going to die, and when you're on your deathbed, you say, I'm happy with the life that I led. I'm happy, I'm content, I'm fulfilled. Everything is working, everything is in flow. There's nothing I'm going against. That is the Ikigai in the center. Let me share what those 4 principles are. Number 1 is what you love doing in life. If you have a career that you fucking hate and you're traveling and you're commuting and you see it as a chore, you will see that as work. I have crafted a life. Certainly, I love what I'm doing. Today, I've had leadership meetings. I'm having a marketing team meeting. We're recruiting. We had a charity meeting. I'm presenting to you guys. I'm working. I'm going to stop after I have to. I'm going to go at the gym. I'm going to get another solid session. I'm going to spend 15 minutes in the sauna. I'm going to get back here. And I'm going to do back in this room at 7 o'clock tonight to do a webinar that builds the business, gives other people opportunities to get their Ikigai and build their lives. That is not a day's work for me. That is just me coming in. It's almost having fun. So I've crafted that, and it's not perfect, guys. I need to do a lot of work to build this business. And most of it I love. But I have an amazing team to do the stuff that I don't love doing. So what you love doing is the first part of that Venn diagram. Let's call that up the top. The next part is what you are good at. You could love doing something, but you could be really, really bad at it. And if you're bad at something, you don't have that mastery. They talk about in business and psychology, and the psychology of staff employment and happiness and building amazing workplaces is Hertzberg's hygiene factors. And one of the hygiene factors is, of course, a little bit of money, but that isn't what he talks about. Hertzberg and his hygiene factors talks about self-mastery in business. If you're good at your job and you've mastered something and you perform something to a high level, that is almost as important as money and remunerations when you're building packages out. So yes, you could get something that you get paid for, fine, but if you don't love it, listen, it doesn't matter how much money you're getting in that commute into London. If you're not seeing your family, you hate it, you hate the underground, you're really bad at your job, and you're your arse ripped from your boss, you hate going in, you hate for those staff appraisals because you know you're underperforming, you can't be really finding your true purpose in life. So what you're good at, we'll give loads of examples here as we go through. What you can get paid for. Let's take the first one. I have been part of many, many entrepreneurial accelerator programs. When I started off many years ago, guys, I was in it as a cohort member. One business, and my dream was pillow and property. Other people had other businesses. And I could see the ones that they were following the first two principles here, guys. They were very good at it. They loved doing it. I'm going to make a random example so that I don't offend anybody I've known in the past. And I always use the same example. Decoupage cards. You're going to make a little card up and you're going to make it nice and it opens up and whatever. You could love doing that, guys. You could be amazing at it. You could be the best decoupage card person in the world or your area in Britain. But can you get paid for it? Yes, you can, because you could get a couple from your friends and family. Are you going to quit your £100,000 a year job to make cards? But you're very good at it. Well, you love doing it. But in reality, it's going to take you 2 hours to make a card to the perfection level that you want to do it. You enjoyed every second of that 2 hours. It's meditative. It's brilliant. Makes you feel good. You've pride in your little decoupage card there. Look at that. Brilliant. But how much can you get paid? Are you going to get paid more than the minimum wage? Because if you're selling your cards for 20 quid and it takes you 4 hours to make them, you're losing money. Go and get a job in Tesco. 50% of the entrepreneurs I've ever met in life were at the stage, and as was I at the start, where I would have been better getting a minimum wage job. So can you really find your purpose in life if you can't build a business and a family or a career or look after yourself and your family? So you need to be able to get paid for it. And the last thing here is what the world needs. So many people getting paid for selling shit courses. Many people getting paid for being mentors and all the nonsense crap garbage out there where they're bamboozling you. Does the world really, really need what you are offering? Are you selling something? Are you getting paid for something fraudulently? Not scamming people, I don't mean that. But does the world really, really need what you are giving? Is your purpose in this planet something that takes society or civilization forward? So does the world need what you want to give? We could be good at something. We could love what we're doing. We could even get paid for it. But is there a need in the world for that? So going back to Ikigai. Remember, if you're watching in replay, guys, these are lunch and learns. I do them every Monday and I have my lunch, and so should you. If you're watching in replay, you won't. So Ikigai, put all these things together and your Ikigai is in the middle. So at the top again, what you love doing, what the world needs, what you can get paid for, and what you are good at. Where these all overlap, they will be there, guys. Let me tell you if something is missing there. Some random examples. If you can get paid for it and you're very good at it, let's say you're a stockbroker or a banker in the city of London. Well, the world unfortunately needs that, apparently. You can get paid very, very well for that. You can get insane bonuses. You're very good at being a stockbroker or a banker. But do you love it? Do you think no matter how much money you get, you've found your true purpose in life? You may use that as a conduit and a springboard to do other things. But guys, trust me, if you don't like doing what you are doing, you will never, ever be happy. Let's say you're a marketing person somewhere. You love tinkering and making videos or designing stuff, and it's your passion in life. I just love making things. The world needs it, and I've got a job doing that, and I get paid well for it. But it turns out I'm not that good at it. Turns out that my boss isn't really going to be happy with my designs or whatever it is I'm doing. And my appraisals are there. And I don't have confidence in my work. I'm getting through and I'm getting paid for it because I'm doing a product, but I'm not that good at it. Think of sports stars, guys. You can get paid to be a sports star, but imagine you're the worst performing person on that team. And I'll tell you a great example. Any day watching in the forces. Imagine being that. You could love being a soldier or a sailor, but imagine being that person that always lets your team down. Imagine being that soldier that's last, that puts your team in danger, or a firefighter or a police officer. If you're not good at soldiering, if you're not good at being a firefighter, you can't have true passion in life. You can't be happy. You cannot find your Ikigai. So, and again, you could be great at something. You could love it. Decoupage cards, guys. If you can't be paid for it, you're just doing it as a hobby. Fine, that's great. That's a hobby. But we're talking about business, because hey, we're doing our lunch and learns for business. We need to be crafting lives here. We don't want to be saying, I'm great at cutting grass. Fine, good for you. You love cutting grass. You're cutting your own grass. But I'm talking about building businesses with Ikigai. Now, the Japanese principle of Ikigai, not necessarily all about business. It goes into a lot about diet, sleep, meditation. For example, guys, a really, really interesting thing about the Japanese, and I'll forget the term, and if I didn't forget it, I'd butcher the actual pronunciation of it. And if you guys know it, it is about eating until you're 80% full. I'm stuffing my face doing the lunch and learn. The Japanese have one of the longest lifespans in the whole world. And this book and other books examine why that is. And it's because they've found their Ikigai. That is the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. I'm equating it to business for this. But they never get full. They eat until they're 80% full and then stop. I put this to my American friends. Americans don't eat until they're 80% full. A lot of people in the UK do not stop when they're 80% full. We have an abundance of food. We're in an amazing time in life where we can stuff our face and consume 10 times the amount of calories in a day. I remember the fucking Domino's pizzas. You can have all your calories, and you can have double your daily calories in one pizza. It's amazing. We have access to this very, very cheaply, very cost effectively, but we never stop when we're 80% full. Again, that's Ikigai. It goes a little bit deeper than this. So if we don't have these four things, you can never be truly satisfied in life, apparently. You're always going to be something missing, guys. And we don't want things missing in life. We want to be truly, truly living to our purpose. I'm going to give some case studies here, some examples. And I'm not going to pull it too much into pillow partners, because I want this to not be about this business. But when we're crafting what we do, especially with the franchise opportunity, when we sit and build out businesses for people, we don't say, right, well, here's our business plan at Pillow. We want to have 50 franchisees all across the UK. We've crafted out, how can we craft something that is other people's Ikigais? Because if we don't do that from a business perspective, and we select the wrong people because, hey, we can get paid for it, but those people aren't good at property management, they're never going to be happy, because their hosts are going to be unhappy, guests are going to have bad experiences. No matter how much money you can make as a service accommodation management company and a service accommodation individual manager, you can't be happy. I've seen it with staff. If they're not good at their jobs, they would need to self-select out of Pillow. Not about sacking people at Pillow that are employees, not about getting rid of franchisees. If they're not good at property management and customer service, they would ultimately self-select out the business, because they don't have that mastery there. If they don't love doing it, and you can see, well, they're sitting outside at 2 minutes to 9 to wait to come in and working to rule and putting on social media, it's hump day, those guys would ultimately self-select out the business because they've not found their purpose. So when we're building careers for people, and we've not got that 100% right, but we try it, and we build the franchise network of a property manager in each area, wherever we go into, we want to build around Ikigai. Those four principles, something that they love doing. Can we build something that they love? Can we train them well enough that they're masters at it, the top 1% in the UK? They can definitely get paid for it as a franchisee, and the world needs it. The world definitely needs us to provide value to them. So that is an overarching example, but let's see some bits from each four. What you love doing. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Listen, you know you love doing this if you jump out of bed and you don't see it as work. Do you need alarms? Let me ask you this. Do you need an alarm in the morning? If you do, you're probably not getting enough sleep. You're probably not happy. I got up. I set my alarm for 6. Never once in the last month or two have I ever needed my alarm. I just wake up, jump out of bed, drive into this office with the tunes blasting, especially the new office. it does make me feel alive to be working. And I'm not going to say working, guys, because I'm doing this. Now, I'm not saying I didn't have a decade of really fucking hard work to get here, and I did not enjoy all of that. I've had what is now Pillow for 18 years as I record this. It's only in the last 4, really, that I have found this, and only in the last 2 that I have mastered this after lockdown. And we're not there yet with the business. We've lots to do, but that drive, the thing of building a multi-million pound business does make me feel alive. So this is what I love doing. I can't think of being an entrepreneur for sure. It's what I love doing. Being an employee would fuck me up. I would hate it. I would not like it. I would not be a good employee, I don't think. It would not make me feel happy because I love just building something. The uncertainty, not the fear, but being in control of your own life. Number 2, what you are good at. There's a certain thing we spoke about, Hertzberg's hygiene factors, the factors in employment and in careers that make you feel happy. Recognition is another one of those guys. So remuneration and money is something that is important, but there's other things that are equally important, and more so, according to Heisberg's hygiene factors. And mastering work is one. Mastering your skill, being amazing at it. Think your man, Michelangelo, that crafted David, took a block of stone. It's a big square block of stone and shadowed it. And he said David was always in there painting this Sistine Chapel. You get such a buzz. I'd always said many years ago, the two biggest buzzies I could ever get. One is getting a new client on. The second one is a month later when you phone them up and they say, I'm so happy I went with your company, Scott. Back in the days when it was me, I used to love getting clients on and getting a dopamine hit, just a big hit, serotonin, whatever feel-good chemicals it is. Secondly, when they said, I'm happy I took that, I'm happy I picked you, Scott, and when we deliver that. So when you're good at something, you're just going to get, it's more than bonus. If you've got staff, you can give them bonuses are important, money's important, but if you're giving them recognition and they're a master of their work and they feel they've done an amazing job, or you've done an amazing job for a client, if you're self-employed, that's it. You've found your calling in life. Listen, sports stars talk about flow. They don't. Michael Jordan with basketballs, he doesn't think about it. They're in state, they're in flow. Fighters, boxers, martial artists, people, just anything. Soldiers, when they're clearing buildings, they're in flow. They're not thinking, my basic training said I should clear to the left and look up and never cross my... They don't. It's flow. It's just a natural state of being. It's effortless. And that's where magic happens, creativity happens. Guys, there's such a sense of satisfaction. You see in the films, guys traveling home at work and they sit in their car with their heads down and they dread getting in to see their family. That is not a life. Many of us settle for that life. And it's the opposite of the story of going into work, waiting up to 1 second before, I'm not getting my employer one more second that they deserve, because they don't hate their employers, they hate their own life. So satisfaction, massively important. What you can get paid for in life. You need to be well rewarded, and I'm going to say better rewarded than an employed job. Maybe you don't want to be self-employed. Maybe you've tried it before. Maybe it's not for you. The uncertainty, the anxiety, the stress, the fear, the trepidation of it all. Just I want to provide for my family and get a fixed wage. Absolutely fine, but you need to be well rewarded. What's the point of getting less than other people in your industry? You need to be well rewarded. Consistent. It needs to be there. It needs to be there for a long period of time. Scalable. If we are building businesses, again, the decoupage thing. Let's go back to the decoupage example, guys. You could make a little bit of money. Is it scalable? Because how many, if it's you making these cards and it takes you 2 hours to make a card and you charge 50 quid, you know you can only make a certain amount in a day. Back when I started, that's what I did not have any skills or any money or any education. Left school with nothing. And I started shampooing carpets. And I thought it was brilliant. I went from being a cleaner and the minimum wage was £4.25 then. And then I could go and clean carpets. I set up my own cleaning company and I went from £4.25 to £50 an hour. I thought I had found my Ikigai. And then I realized, before I got into property, that actually earning £50 an hour, and I'd go home and do a great 8-hour shift and have all this money. It's 10, 12-hour shifts and I've piles of money. I thought that was amazing from my poverty consciousness back then. But it turns out I could only make £50 an hour. Maybe if I got a big job and it was for like a holiday thing or a hotel, I could make 60, 70, £100 an hour. But I could not scale up infinitely. Then I got a couple of people working for me. Then I changed to property, managing property, got a team of people, and we can scale up a much bigger business by adding value to other people. I could only add value to one carpet owner at a time, one householder at a time. I couldn't clean multiple carpets. I did when I got a team, but again, that's still unscalable for big businesses and sustainable. I know people that have done networking, and they've had a little BNI badge, 17 years. 17 years as a carpet cleaner, excellent. Not a problem, very admirable. 17 years in that BNI, making consistency, fantastic. But the day that you cannot clean carpets and you've got a bad back, you don't make money. So it's not sustainable if your business model isn't right. So you need to be doing what you can get paid for, what's sustainable, what's scalable, and actually that consistency so that you don't always have the fear. Number 4, what the world needs. And this is quite an important one and the hardest one to understand. Adding value to the world, giving back, and making the world a better place. I like to describe this one as about giving, not taking. The rest are taken in bits and bobs. But what can you do to make the world a better place? If you are an artist, well, maybe the world needs that. Maybe the world needs cheered up. If you're a journalist and a news person, they need to share that real news rather than the BBC and all the fake propaganda. Maybe people need to hear your music. Maybe they need to see your creativity. Maybe they need your property management company because they're now hands off. They want to build a family. They don't want to be dealing with guests on a Friday night. They don't want to be finding tenants. They don't want to be cleaning their own carpets. And you can add value to that. And as long as you're adding more value than you're taking, then this one is nice and simple. And can you do that and make the world a better place at the same time? I think you can. A couple of slides here and we're coming to the end, guys. That horrific scene there, I avoid London as much as I can. Not saying Scotland's a great place, but that whole travelling to work, commuting, doesn't make me happy. Nobody in the world thinks, yes, it's the underground. I can't wait to jump in there. Yes, brilliant. I love going to work this way. You put up with it because you get money, because you're getting paid for it. But guys, can you really, is anybody there living their true purpose in life? Who would want to go through that if they had options? Life's about options. And for those that win this book, you'll see it. Don't know who the author is, but I'll put the links in. If you've got options in life, you don't volunteer to do that. You don't volunteer to travel and commute to work for 4 hours a day on a train and get stressed when trains are late. You don't volunteer to leave the house at 6 in the morning and get back at fucking 10 at night if you had options. Now, the option is, I have the option. I'm working to 9:30 tonight. I've been in this office from 6:30, I think, 6:45 this morning. I have options, and my option is to come here. I want to go home and see my wee doggies. We've got a new wee dog, it's a wee one-eyed pickle. I want to go home and cuddle my dog, but I'm choosing to be here. I don't see this as work. But guys, if you've got options, you're not really sitting in the underground voluntarily. You're doing it because you fucking need to, and somebody like me is making you do it. Next, time with your family. Are you living your true purpose in life? Are you going to have a long and happy life if you don't get to see your family? One of the things we always speak about with the franchisees, guys, is we would say, right, well, how quickly do you want to grow? To what level do you want to grow your property management business with us? And some people say, well, I want to get 6 figures. You've advertised it, and I demand you tell us how to make 6 figures. Fine, cool. But some people say, Scott, I had to build that. It's my choice not to go that high. It's my choice to stop at $5,000 a month because I get to take my kids to school and pick them up every day. That's my choice. I want to spend time with my family because I saw my sister do this and they never saw their kids and felt guilty about it. My mum, my dad never picked me up for school. I never saw my dad because they were always working. I don't want to be that type of parent. Absolutely, you're finding your Ikigai because that isn't about maximizing income. That is all about family, spending time with your family. Hey, there'll be many, many people watching this, doing the commute to London and saying, I'm choosing to do that because I want to provide for my family. But had you options of being able to provide for your family the same as you are now and spending time with your family, you would pick that unless you really hate your family and you're sitting in the car at 1 minute to not want to see your family. But hopefully nobody is like that. You wouldn't choose to work away from home and do all that if you had the choice to get that same level of income and spend time with your family. So family is super important. And I want you to think, I spend the time with my family that I choose. I have crafted the perfect life for me. Now, if I go back to that one, we've just moved office. There's no traffic lights from the motorway to this office. The old office, I had to sit in fucking traffic lights. It was a private entrance. I had to wait in the gate opening. You had to sometimes go over 3 lanes of traffic to get your bum in to turn into that 90-degree right angle. You had to wait to get out. You had to sit in traffic. I hated it. It was only 20 minutes extra a day. I hated it. It was 20 minutes wasted twice a day for me. That times my life is years of my life wasted. I was still lucky. It was 20 minutes drive. Now the office, there's no traffic lights from where I get onto the motorway. I park and there's free parking. And we're next to the subway in Glasgow as well. So I've crafted that as my perfect life. I spend the time with my friends and family because I appreciate every single minute. Of course, I would love to go and pat my dogs longer, but hey, they're free rescue dogs, and I took those dogs on with the purpose I will give them a better life than on the streets of Romania. But I was fully open with, well, myself, not the dogs, so they didn't understand. They will get a better life in Romania, but daddy's going to go and work to give you, to get you go to daycare and take care of you and get dog walkers and that. So my family and the people that I love, my girlfriend, I spend the time with them. I have crafted my perfect life. I love to work. I've found my purpose. But I've also got my life partner is in the business and is helping me grow. Never once says, Scott, you can't work. Never once gives me a hard time. They're in the business, working just as hard as me. They're contributing to the growth of Pillow just as much as me. And people say, Scott, you are lucky. No, there's been a many, many years of manifestation to get to this point. And I have found my Ikigai in life, which is building a business with someone I care deeply about. There is no time away, it's fine. They go and build the business, I go and build the business, we're building a dream together. That's the Ikigai. Next thing is, this is health, mental health, but physical health as well. To find your true purpose in life, I truly believe we need strong mental health and perfect fitness. Now, again, I've crafted this, and don't get ill. It pisses people off. It really annoys people. I've not had the flu, would never catch COVID. You could jump in a vat of COVID, would never catch it. People don't believe me. Haven't had a sniffle in 20 years, never used the NHS, never been to a doctor, never registered. Absolute perfect health. The fact of me being sick and somebody giving me the flu or catching a cold off somebody is impossible in my brain. Just never happens. It never has happened in 20 years, and it never will happen. Many, many people argue. Everybody argues. You walk past somebody in the office that sneezes, you will catch the cold. I will never catch the cold. I've found my purpose in life. I'd bounce out of bed. I love my life. I'm not going to let a cold get in the way of that. So I have nice health. Listen, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I get to go to the gym 4 times a week. I get to walk. I get to run. I teach martial arts. Mastered that. When I Krav Maga instructor, I'm very, very happy with my mental health and my physical health. But I had to put a little bit of work into that in the early years to get away from where I was mentally and physically as a youngster and a teenager. But again, I've crafted that. I have found my Ikigai when it comes to resilience, perfect mental health, happiness. And again, I don't take that lightly. I appreciate that and have gratitude for that every day, because many, many people do not have physical health and do not have strong mental health. But guys, strive towards it. Next, people say, right, okay, well, you've said all this. What is your Ikigai, Scott? What are you've said a bit about health. You've crafted this life. I'm going to put this up on screen. Zig Ziglar. This is my Ikigai in life. You can have everything you want in life if you just help enough people get what they want. So I'll say that again. Zig Ziglar. Put it in the chat if you know Zig Ziglar, crazy American preacher. I think he passed away last year. You can get anything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want in life. My aims in business is not to build an X-figure business. If we're building Pillow, to a £20 million revenue business. That is not done by my financial targets. I'm not making a £20 million revenue business. My thing is, the only way I can get a £20 million revenue business is by adding value to property owners. So when we do the meetings, it's like, well, what's the financial targets? Accountants and people planning businesses say, well, you need these cash flow projections, Scott. I don't. I need to help enough people get what they want in life. And that's threefold. One, I need to help hosts, property owners, maximize their income, reduce stress, and free up their time. It's nice and simple. I wake up in the morning. My aim to pop out of bed is to build a £20 million revenue. Isn't this, that, and the next. It's simply help X amount of hosts maximize their income, reduce stress, and free up time, add value to them. That's my only purpose in this business, is to add value to our clients for hosts. We'll talk about the charity bit in an instant. The next thing, how do we manage those properties? How do we add value? Well, we want franchisees, we want partners. And my Ikigai is to help as many franchisees in life achieve what they want, which is everything we've spoke about, everything up to this point. We are going to help them be part of Pillow. We're going to help them have financial security. We're going to help them build the perfect life that I'm talking about. That is my purpose. We'll get some employees doing that back them up. So I want to help those employees build perfect lives. But essentially, number one, we want to help the hosts get what they want in life. I want to help all my franchisees get what they want in life, which is everything we've mentioned before, which is everything in the Ikigai principle. And the last thing for me here, we can help change the world. Every single property we get on, every single franchisee, every single stay and booking through our platform does good for local communities. So I can get anything I want in life by helping other people. Well, why would I not help other people? Zig Ziglar, you can get anything you want in life by helping enough people get what they want in life. So my purpose isn't to get properties and to get properties under management. It's to help hosts. It's to help franchisees manage those properties. And then ultimately it's to give guests happy nights. So everything that we talk about, everything that we plan at Pillow with our core values, I think they're in here somewhere. Here's our core values. Let's see if I can open that up for you. Isn't about nonsense corporate. Continuous improvement, you'll see there, which is the Japanese principle. Again, a Japanese principle. Love Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement. Kaizen, excellence in all we do. Make lives better, stronger together, inspire, and make it happen. And I think if you know us, you'll see that those core values all go around providing value to other people. It's not about maximizing our income and having a Lambo and Rolex lifestyle, guys. It's nice and simple. We are delivering value for other people, and those core values are there. So, guys, questions or comments? I was going to do this in half an hour, but I just love this whole principle of Ikigai, and I'm going to give away 5 books. So, what we're going to do, because of it over time, we are going to give away 5 copies of this book. It is nice and simple. Email me over scott@pillowpartners.co.uk. Put that in the chat. And the first 5 people will give a book. Okay. scott@pillowpartners.co.uk. Let me bang that on screen. It's nice and simple. And guys, just to be clear, I have got 5 copies of the book. I know people say that. That's 5. Still in the shiny wrappers, are not even unwrapped. And I'll give 5 people a copy of that book that just email me over. So guys, that is Ikigai, finding your purpose in life. I do a lot of lunch and learns every week, sometimes twice a week. But property, business, but I think this is one of the most important ones I've done. I think this is the foundation of everything else, whether it's health, fitness, life, business, career, property, it doesn't matter what it is. Ikigai, super important, super passionate. And guys, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any comments. If you're applying this in your own life, please let me know, because I'll be doing these regularly. If you have anything I can do to improve this for my team, any advice, case studies, real stories from your life, I'd love to put them in. For now, thank you very, very much. And if you're watching on replay, I don't know how many people would have emailed. You may be lucky if you email me over at Scott@Pillow. If you're watching on the replay, you might just get the last book. Thank you very much.